Yo, it's Underground Rap News. We're here with the one and only Dnash the rapper. Before we get into this, make sure you guys leave a like and a comment to help show support, and make sure you guys subscribe to stay tuned for future interviews. So, first question I have for you, Dnash the rapper, is how did you come up with your artist name?
Pronounced D, Nash the rapper. It's separated D, Nash the rapper with an A, Tha, the rapper. Not The, because a lot of people do spell like that too.
All right. So, how did you come up with the name?
My birth name. So my name is Daniel Nashon Mosley, and the D comes from the first letter of my first name, and Nashon is my middle name. So I just, took half of my middle name and added to my first letter of my name. My mom actually gave me that as a football name because I used to play sports. So she used to give me that name for sports. So that was originally what it was for at first.
So, what city did you grow up in?
Cincinnati, Ohio. I was born in E-Dub on Sutter Avenue. Um, as English Woods, that's the largest projects in Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? And was torn down in about 2001. But I come from there, and I grew up basically most of my life in Cincinnati. I went to Middletown, Hamilton, and these other cities. Like I used to move around a whole lot, like more than a kid should. Kids should. I went to like 5, 6 different districts, 11 different schools. That's basically how I maneuvered a lot. Mom wanted to move a lot. You know what I'm saying? But born and raised in Cincinnati mostly.
So, how old are you right now?
I'm 28. I turned 29 on February 28th of this month.
Yeah. So, how would you describe your childhood growing up in those projects, and how did that lead to you deciding to pursue a career in music?
Well, when I was younger, I seen a lot of stuff. My mom did shield me from a lot of things. At a young age, I started writing a lot. You know what I'm saying? So at the age of 6, I started writing a lot. I had just my room. You know what I'm saying? My mom didn't let me go out and the environments and stuff like that. She used to, basically keep me from that. You know what I'm saying? She was a new mom, teen mom. You know what I'm saying? She was 18, 19, when she had me. So she basically shielded me away from a lot of the things that usually kids shouldn't be seeing. So I stood in the house a lot when I was younger, and I basically wrote a lot of music. You know what I'm saying? Not music, but like just a lot of things that dealt with music, like expression. I expressed myself at a very young age, what it had to do with just my environment, my well-being, me actually getting creative, making comics and making storylines for people and stuff like that. I always wanted to be like, a comic book writer and whatnot. And that's what it started as. I was a writer before I was an artist. So that's what started it. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes in from the family. My mom was a writer, granny was a writer, and it kind of basically sprung from that, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And it just became an obsession how much I was writing. Then the music came. I heard artists like Michael Jackson and Nas and Biggie, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and I became in love with the music, and it just came together as I got older. And I listened to for it myself, and I became an artist basically naturally like that.
All right. So, how old were you when you actually dropped your first song for the project?
My first, well, it's kind of awkward because I wouldn't even like I made up my first song in 2011, but
Mm.
it was off a MP3 player, so it's just like I wouldn't even count that because I didn't have no studio or anything like that. But when I did go to the studio, 2013 was when I went to the studio, made my first song, and basically I started from there. And I was 17. Around the time I was 17, so I was 17. I wrote my first song. It was called "Root of Bitterness," and I showed it to the producer. He loved it. You know what I'm saying? He loved that I had a lot of substance in my lyrics and stuff like that. He'd see that I was someone that wanted to push out a lot of consciousness and whatnot.
Mhm. So, how did your friends and family react when they found out you first started making music?
Well, this is a funny story because I hid I hid it from my mom for like a good minute. Like
Mhm.
I hid the music passion for a good minute. Um, but the reaction was they was actually like excited. They wanted to actually, hear me make music. They wanted to actually hear what I got. I remember the first time I wrote a song and my mom wanted to hear me rap it. I was so nervous. Like she wanted me to sit there and rap it to her. I had a piece of paper, man. I was nervous. I was shaking. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't know. It's awkward seeing my mom watching me, what I'm saying, rap on a piece of. It was like, it was crazy, man. I hid it from her for like a year or two. But she was excited to hear it because she said she used to do it because my mom used to rap a little bit, never serious as I'm doing it. She's never went to um, that length. But she was happy, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else was just taking it like, dang, we have a rapper in the family. It was more shocked, like wow, like we have somebody that actually wants to make music. Because I'm the only person that actually does do music in the intermediate family and the stretched part of our family.
So, what are some of your biggest goals that you'd like to achieve by the end of the year?
What was my favorite? You said what was my favorite
I
things
said,
out of my.
what are some of your goals that you'd like to achieve by the end of this year?
Oh, okay. Um, the goals I want to achieve this year is basically it's really one thing. Honestly, it's to chart my next album, Timeless Four. It's the thing that I want to do because I have never made a full project, an album with just me on a featureless. Never made one, and I decided to say I want to make a featureless album and jump everything I did previously and do it myself to show people that it ain't just anybody else doing it with me. I want to do it and showcase my skill and hold my own with nobody and just do it, single handedly. And I want to chart the album because if I do, I will be the first Cincinnati rapper to have 3 albums chart in a row in under 2 years with a featureless album, a solo album, and an international collab album. So it'll be huge. You know what I'm saying? To be a first, it'll set the bar.
Okay. So, are you currently signed or independent right now?
Fully independent, been independent since I started, and I'm planning on trying to be independent literally my entire career. Only if I can get leverage on a label deal. That is the
Mhm.
only time I will sign with the label because they're shady. If you don't have leverage, you can't really do nothing with these labels. You need to have. I want to tell people that if you want to get signed, do not sign if you have no leverage. Flat out. That is the main thing. If you don't have leverage, you're gonna get you. You're not gonna make nothing of that back. So that's my main thing. Do not sign a record label if you don't have any leverage.
Yeah, sorry. All right, so, who are your top three artists you want to collab with someday?
First artist to be Central C because honestly, he's been a recent inspiration for me. You know what I'm saying? He has basically been someone I've been watching for a while, and he's been motivating me from day one that I've seen him, put out music because his story is similar to mine. And it's just like he had to amass so much. So, like, he's somebody that's relatable. You know what I'm saying? I will work with him. Nas, he's my favorite rapper of all time. I would love to work with him because, my favorite rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, since day one. You know what I'm saying? I was a little kid rapping his lyrics. That's like a very dream collab. And then Kendrick Lamar, he's a main one too. He was part of my adolescent years. I got his albums on my wall. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been a very big inspiration since I was a teenager. That would be very huge for me. You know what I'm saying? These artists I can relate to and I resonate the most with. I usually don't want to work with any other artists unless I resonate with them.
All right. So, what can you tell us about the slit in your eyebrow?
Yeah, a lot of people have asked this. I really do want to clear this up because I've been getting this for years. I just want
Mhm.
to tell people straight up, all these years that have been spoken about, I never said it in an interview. The slit of my eyebrow came from a mark that I got when I got hit by a swing. And this does not grow back. It does not grow back. The slit does not grow back. I never shaved my shit. I never cut my shit purposely because I know a lot of y'all be doing that. Y'all be shaving shit and trying to have cuts in your eyebrows. This is a permanent scar. This will never grow back. My dad has the same one too. I thought it was hereditary. He told me like it was hereditary, but I remember my mom told me I got smacked with a swing hard. Like I blacked out. That's why I don't remember it. But I got a mark that is a part of my eyebrow that does not grow back. So anybody that's saying that I did cut my eyebrow, no, this has been here.
Sure. So, what's the true meaning of why you wear bandanas?
The main reason why I do that from it was started in the early of the Timeless era when I first made my first album, Timeless. My aunt died, and the last thing she left me that I had of her when we was moving her belongings out of her house was the bandana, and I went and said, I want to keep this. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep this, and then I decided I wanted to start wearing it in my music videos to make sure she's with me in my first music video because she passed away. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? She passed away at 36, very young age, and she listened to my music and she loved it and she wanted me to keep going. She went to my first show and it just really hits me because I wanted her to be a part of it. So that is a clear reminder that she's with me everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because that was one of the last things that she left me. It was a white bandana to be specific.
All right. So, what's the reason for the timeless albums?
The whole meaning of them is like it's the longevity of things that I want to acquire. If anybody listens to the album, this is like a Bible to longevity. And back then, I made a statement to tell people this is a type of movement I want to start. I want to enlist people to become timeless. I want people to become timeless. I want people to understand that everyone has a legacy. Everyone has a chance to have a legacy. You have the mindset, the intuition, and these albums are here to teach that because I feel like me as an intellectual, I feel like I can connect with people and actually get people to believe and instill it with them so they can be a part of their souls. You know what I'm saying? So they can feel one of one. They can become these beings and break the matrix. You know what I'm saying? I want people to break the matrix. I want people to understand that they're powerful beyond measure by what they're set in themselves. But people don't realize that. So people need to understand and be motivated and listen to stuff like this. You won't read about it in a book. You'll listen to it in the album. And this is what I do. I reflect my journey and put it onto everybody else's so they can relate and then make it instilled into them.
For So, a lot of people have noticed that you don't work with any other artists who are from Cincinnati. What's the reason behind that?
Um, I've worked with one Cincinnati artist, and that was it because I'm gonna be real with you. These Cincinnati artists are not genuine. You know what I'm saying? I've reached out to a lot of them. It's either they want payments or they want to jump on my wave and do something, get some clout off of it and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not feeling that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want a genuine connection. A lot of them don't care about nothing else, or they just be like, it be so much in their head, they be egos. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually want to work with these people that just show love. Like, let's work, let's do some stuff. But these people aren't like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's always like I said, it's an ego issue, and it's like they don't never respect it. I feel like they respect me from a distance, like yeah, cool, cool, but like honestly, they don't respect the music that I put out. There's a lot of people here generally rap about the streets, the trap, which is cool. You rap about your sceneries and shit like that, but don't devalue what I got going on when I'm trying to help dismantle all that. Because guess what? At the end of the day, what is that trap and drug and gun violence is going to do? What does that happen? What is that going to do? You have influence. You're rapping, you're going to become an influencer. So, what is that doing? Is it doing anything good for us or is it not? I don't think so. So, I don't think they respect what I talk about, so we don't resonate. Most of the artists here do that, but there's one artist I did resonate with. I met him on tour. His name is Samad Terrell, and good artist. And I connected with him, and we kind of from a similar boat. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, I'm never going to work with any Cincinnati artists. I think I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I worked with so many people international that respect me that I don't need to work with none of them, because a lot of them just be trying to just, you know what I'm saying, like play with your time. Like, I don't got time for all that. And then they expect payments and stuff like that. I'm like, you expect me to pay you wait and you let me wait 3-4 weeks to get an answer from you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not worth my time or my money. So how dare you try to throw something at me? You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, I am actually doing you a favor. Some of these people aren't even like on, you know what I'm saying? They haven't done anything. And for them to throw a number at me and try to work on their schedule, and I'm over here waiting 4 or 5 weeks for a text back, and the song's already like, I'm changed my mind. I stopped dealing with it, bro. I stopped doing it. All right, forget all y'all. Do what y'all do. I'm gonna do me.
Yeah, for sure. So, uh, we only have a couple minutes left, but the final question I have for you is, you mentioned that you've had a lot of chart success with
Yeah.
being the first independent artist to have, you said, three albums in a row in just under 2 years.
Hopefully 3.
Yeah, and so the last question I have for you in the small amount of time we have left is, if you could give one small piece of advice to other artists who are trying to get to your level, what's that one piece of advice that you'd give them?
The biggest advice that everybody needs to listen to, and I wish I did this early in my career because it taught me a lot. You need 2 things: consistency and dedication. That is it. And people need to understand what those mean. You can't just have dedication. You have to show it. You can't say, "Oh, I'm dedicated," then quit. There's no such thing as quitting when you have dedication. And consistency is to keep going no matter what. You don't have an empty year. There's no such thing as an empty year with consistency. Consistency, dedication, and love. I have to add love in it. You have to love this shit. If you don't love this shit, that means it's not for you. You have to love it. Love, dedication, consistency, and that's all I have to basically say about that. That's all you need.
For sure. All right, well, make sure, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a comment. Let us know what your favorite part of the interview was. Most importantly, make sure you go check out Dnash the Rapper's music and stay tuned for his upcoming album, and subscribe to stay tuned for future interviews. Again, thanks for watching.